wish.
Woo, we do wish. You know what we wish? We wish to travel far and wide to know the secrets of man. That's what we wish. But welcome everyone to the much anticipated, long overdue season 2, episode 9, entitled "The Meeting." I actually misspelled it. It's supposed to be MEATING part 2. LOL JK. LOL JK. Maybe we'll see. We'll see. But welcome everyone to our episode here. We have the delightful crew and the cast of the Ragnar. We're gonna go around the table as we often do at the beginning of every episode. We're gonna have everyone introduce themselves, tell us who they're playing, and then we're gonna have a nice little recap from Sidereal Day as Commander Ajay playing Sidereal Day. It's very Inception-y right now. It's super weird. I don't know how it's gonna go. She suggested it. I was like, that seems kind of odd. That might break things. Now she's being modest. It's all good. Do your thing.
Hey,
your
Wolf.
thing. So let's start with the
Wolf.
captain. Yeah.
Hey, Wolf, I'm going to interrupt you and go tell you to go fuck yourself.
Fuck myself. Oh, there it is. All right, perfect.
Thank you.
As is tradition. All right, well, let's go. Brian, Sidereal Day, Charles Warren, Symbol, Drew Baca. Is Brian still with us? His camera kicked off. Are you still with us, Bri? He is. Yeah. He's back.
Sorry.
Oh, that was very magical. I like that. It's like he's missing, and Brian's back. Beautiful. Brian.
Communication has been restored.
We're gonna go you, Sidereal, Charles, Symbol, Drew Baca. Take it away, Brian.
Hello, I am Brian. Mind over Brian on both Twitter and on Twitch. Although on Twitch I spell it with a 0 and Twitter's on fire. So, and I'm playing Captain Asbatreso, the Betazoid captain who has forsworn his telepathic gifts.
Good evening. I'm Sidereal Day, and I play Commander Ajay Shahira, the Bajoran Chief Medical Officer and First Officer,
who's also playing a millennial in modern age. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Is that how this works?
Is Mimi a millennial? I didn't
Yes.
think Sidereal.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm a 90s kid. That makes me a millennial.
Oh,
I think
Fair. Okay.
aren't we all millennials?
I was gonna say I think I just squeaked in.
I'm an elder
We're-
millennial.
We're Zennials.
I am a Generation X because
I
I'm
was
old.
gonna say.
You get
Yeah.
the fuck out. No.
I get to be Gen X.
Brian just squeaked in at the end, at one end, and I just squeaked in at the other end.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Charles, my friend.
Oh, well, I'm Charles. I play Ensign Zed, our Ferengi Chief of Operations and Chief of Security, who is recently out of the academy. I can't say fresh out of the academy anymore.
Nice. I'm Symbol 24. You can find me on Twitch soon enough under the same name. And if you want to go see what's going on Twitter, it's Symbol 2_4. I am playing Lieutenant Alden Paris, the science officer and member of the Great Paris family. I mean,
Shameless little plug right here for Symbol. Symbol's going to be doing some awesome streaming during the day. What are you going to be streaming over on Symbol 24
mainly
on Twitch?
right now it's going to be Marvel Snap, the new card game. So it's my
Ooh.
addiction right now. So it's
Love
going to be fun to see me lose and get angry.
Well, if you like angry people, if you like snapping and Marvel, I think that is the perfect spot for you to hang out. So definitely do give him a like, follow, maybe even a sub if you're feeling so glorious. I love that shit. Last but certainly not least, Rebecca, take it away.
Hi, I'm Drew Baca. I'm playing the irascible chief engineer, Lieutenant Commander Krev Clash, the Tellarite.
Beautiful. And of course, I am Dare Wolf, the ever plucky game master, as it were. And as previously stated, we're going to have Sidereal Day as Commander Ajay playing Sidereal Day. Give us a recap of what happened last episode. Take it away. You're muted. Perfect.
Of course I am.
As is tradition.
Yeah. We are in orbit around a small planetoid, and well, we've been in contact with them theoretically, but unfortunately, that contact was a little sparse and did not provide many details. In our attempts to provide a good welcome to the two envoys sent over, Utu, a male, and Iridu, a female, we laid out a nice buffet, some plants. Unfortunately, while Utu was very excited by the party, Iridu was a bit, well, she had a slight allergic reaction to some of the flowers present. Luckily, Mr. Valles had my med kit on him, and I was able to administer an antihistamine, which prompted her interest in some of our medical advances. With Mr. Valles along, just to make sure that nothing happened, since Ms. Iridu was carrying a giant rifle over her back, I escorted her to medbay to reveal how some of our miraculous science works. Meanwhile, Ensign Zed, and with quite some help from Lieutenant Paris, took Utu over to the holodeck for a presentation about the Federation and the species therein.
Mhm.
During this time, Utu ended up throwing a bit of a tantrum when confronted with the hologram of a Klingon. Luckily, Zed was able to calm him down and explain that it was just a hologram, nothing to be worried about.
Mhm.
At which point, Mr. Utu's entire demeanor shifted and went from a empty-headed frat boy to a more mature and well-spoken statesman. Meanwhile, in the medical bay, Ms. Iridu was becoming much more hostile and demanding about knowing where the Federation was, how she could get there. And she ended up moving her rifle around and shooting Mr. Valles when we both attempted to calm her down and possibly call for some more backup. She has now taken me hostage, and I have no way to alert anyone of this knowledge before she shoots me. Meanwhile, Mr. Utu is likewise demanding of Zed and the rest that they tell him where the Federation is, that they show him where we are. And on the bridge, Captain Traso is staring down the planet that has become a giant space station with an open mouth that looks like it's ready to eat our ship. Oh, and Lieutenant Commander Krev has spent this entire time working on some mysterious warp core project, which, so long as the ship doesn't blow up or catapult us through time, everything is fine and he can do whatever he wants. Everything is fine.
You know what? I gotta tell you, Ajay, you play a great sidereal day. Absolutely fantastic. You may have 2 momentum for that delightful recap of last episode. That was fantastic. And what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna open. We're gonna open with. I want you to imagine that you see this dense, nebulous cloud that is the Shackleton Expanse. This vast, light years and light years and light years of space covered in this dense, thick nebula. We are traveling through that nebula, and all you see, it's like moving through thick fog. You just see clouds, 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 and you're moving through that vastness of space. You're not in a ship, you're not seeing it through a screen, you're literally just seeing it as though you yourself are flying through this cloud. The cloud gets denser and denser and denser and denser, and then all of a sudden you cross through this threshold. You kind of see the dense cloud that is the Shackleton Expanse sort of loom out in front of you as though you are a whale breaching from the water. As that cloud dissipates, we see this massive, massive planet. Massive planet. This planet, though, is strange as about a quarter of its. Let's say you're looking at one of the sides of the sphere. There's about a quarter of that section, if you were looking at it, almost as though it's a 2D plane, that has opened up. Inside of this opening, this massive, like, sort of rotating door, we see these grinding gears, these slashing sort of mechanisms that looks like a giant maw of some sort. You see flames, you see what looks like molten lava dripping down, and it looks, for all intents and purposes, as though it is the mouth of some sort of massive beast. As we get closer and closer to it, so close that all we can see is this maw, we can just barely make out a tiny little Intrepid class vessel. And on the side of that vessel, you see the name USS Ragnar. We zoom quickly into the Ragnar, where we go through the hull of the ship, directly down into sickbay, where we see the very Commander Ajay. We see this blue-skinned woman, apparently the Tokal, which were apparently those that live on this planet, but obviously you probably have some questions. She has a rifle of some sort, this alien rifle, and it's pointed directly at Commander Ajay. Commander Ajay, she has taken the butt of the gun, pushed your back, you fell forward into your desk, but were able to turn around so that you are now facing her. The rifle is pointed directly at your chest. Once again, she commands, "Where is it? Where is your Federation? Tell me now!"
I am not a navigator. You will have to let me bring up the map.
Do it.
Ajay will turn back to her desk and start fiddling with the computer display.
He watches you with this. It is a kind of burning intensity, and you see her eyes, and there's something about her eyes. Her eyes are kind of darting left and right, and what you notice, Commander Ajay, is that there is just a slight bead of sweat that goes from her brow. Her hair is again sort of draped down, but you see this bead of sweat where the part in her hair is. You see this bead of sweat come down, dribble down her nose. She looks nervous, Commander Ajay. She looks almost scared. Again, it's very much beneath the surface right now, because she's trying to give off this air of intensity, of passion, of fire, of I'm in control, I am the captain now kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what do you do? She just watches you with that rifle.
I make sure that she can't see that I still have the hypo with the vaccine that I was making last session.
Give me a daring and security. Difficulty of 2. You do have 4 momentum right now.
I'm gonna use a momentum, please.
Okay. I like that.
Daring security. 3. Would you say composure is an applicable focus?
Absolutely. If this isn't a scene where composure is an applicable focus, I don't know what is. Ooh.
Crap.
So you've got some options. You could spend a determination to potentially re-roll those 2 dice. You could. I mean, really, that's your only option right now, unless you have something that would let you re-roll.
I don't believe so. Yeah. I'm going to use my value. Things always look better after a deep breath.
Okay.
Gonna take a breath.
Re-roll those 2 failures.
Yeah.
I believe.
Daring. We said security.
Ooh,
there we go.
Commander Ajay, you've got that hypo spray. You know for a fact, you can tell that he doesn't notice it. How much longer? Move quicker!
I assume you would like an accurate map given what you're requesting.
You are stalling for time. Do it now, or I'll do it myself.
Ajay will kind of shift to the side and make a gesture as if to say, go ahead then.
You, back into the corner, now.
Okay, I will step there.
He moves around the desk.
Well, okay. Okay.
As she moves around the desk, she looks down at the computer terminal. Now, my question, Commander Ajay, is what did you put on the computer terminal?
I put down gibberish,
She looks down at the computer terminal.
but I made like gibberish that looks like coordinates,
For
basically.
the briefest of moments, she lowers the rifle and leans in towards the terminal to focus, trying as though she's trying to understand what she's looking at.
Okay.
You
I'm
see your
going-
moment.
Yep, I'm gonna step over and try and stab.
Give me a fitness security. Difficulty of 2.
Cool. I'm gonna preemptively spend all 3 momentum.
Woo! Let's go.
To roll 4d20. I'd like to argue for xenobiology as a focus. I'm aiming to hit this into a vein pretty quickly.
Ooh, okay.
Because I want this to take effect quickly.
Okay. You know what? I'll allow it. I like that. I think it's a little bendy, but I like it.
All
We're gonna do it.
focuses are a little bendy.
A little bit. That's fine. Go for it. You gain 1 momentum back, so we watch as this alien lowers the rifle. Commander Ajay, you lunge, almost like parkouring your way, like sliding over the desk or lunging forward with your left hand. The hypo spray slams into her neck. She actually recoils back, and you hear that telltale noise. She stumbles backward, shoving you with the butt of her, with the front of her gun. She like pushes you back, goes to raise it, but her hands tremble and the gun drops. She grabs her neck. What did you? What did you do?
Next time, you should think about the fact that the poison makes the dose.
You don't understand. It has to be. Collapses right onto the table, completely unconscious. I assume you weren't trying to kill her.
No.
If I just put her unconscious.
No.
Beautiful.
No. I did take the Hippocratic Oath, so
She
no.
does collapse onto the desk. She's now unconscious, and I think that's a great moment, as I often say, to pivot away from the scene, back over to the holodeck, where a well-spoken blue alien is, I think, if I remember correctly, he's kind of charming Zed a little bit. He's not been too aggressive. He simply asked, if you would, Master Zed, if you could simply show me this. You said it's a federation of sorts. I must tell you that my people, being as isolated as we are, we've never considered joining a kind of a federation, as it were. But I'm intrigued. How many star systems does this federation encompass?
Allow me to show you. And Zed's going to pull up not only the Federation, but the entire known map. So it'll have the Federation, the Romulan, the Klingons, all the stuff.
Sorry
No,
to interrupt.
let him have his moment.
Unless you want to interject.
I want to interject because of something that happened last week.
Okay.
Oh yes, remind me if I
season.
forgot. If I forgot something.
I'm pretty sure that the captain locked out all that information, and that we got to the point where it appeared and it said information unavailable, and that's where we ended. And I'm pretty sure that's
that
happened.
could be.
Damn it, you remembered. Okay, fine. All right.
Yes.
We retconned.
Okay,
so you go to pull up the information. I almost had
And you can
them.
remove me from
Almost
the
had
scene.
them. I was so close. You guys are tricksy. I gotta watch out for you. So we watch as you go to pull up this information. The alien, this blue-skinned alien, this Utu, he has this almost hungry look on his face. And Zed, you watch as he is pull, if you're going to pull up this information, you request it. The computer gives you errors. Request it again, assuming it's probably just a little glitch. He licks his lips for a moment, almost as though he's looking at something, like he's looking at like a delicious steak. He looks hungry. What is the matter? Why isn't it pulling up? Is there some sort of issue? You told me that you'd show it to me. And he starts to almost get a little bit frantic. You start to hear a little bit of this kind of manic nature that you saw before he became a little bit more prim and proper. And how does Zed respond?
There is no need to get upset. It is probably just a temporary technical difficulty. If you give me a moment, I'm sure I can resolve it.
He waves at you.
And then Zed will look to Lieutenant Paris. Oh, is Paris there?
No, I'm not there. I'm not there.
I forgot. Oh yeah,
He
you
looks
were
to
there at one
Lieutenant
point.
Paris, who fades out of existence. And he's
Oh
very
no.
Who you remember was
So
in the
it's
corner,
just
but he's no
Zed.
longer there. But there is a bucket of popcorn on the ground.
Yeah. So it's just Zed there, correct?
Zed and Ensign Jenkins.
To Jenkins. So he's gonna point. He's gonna nod to Ensign Jenkins. As if just to keep him company for a moment. And
yeah. So you got
and-
blue skin. That's pretty cool, right? Alien just looks at him like,
yeah. And Zed's gonna step away and tap his comm. Zed to Commander Krev.
Krev here, and you can hear like sparking and like the sounds of like clanking and
Clang, clang, clang.
sounds like fire or something. You don't even know.
Oh, all right.
Ah, shit! Ow! What? What, Zed? What?
Oh, I was going to ask you if we're experiencing any technical difficulties with the holodeck, but based on what I hear over the comm, it seems you are encountering many technical difficulties.
No, everything's fine. Everything's fine. Don't come down here, and certainly don't tell the captain. Krev out. Beep.
That was very unusual. He's just going to go up the chain of command. Zed to Commander Ajay.
Ajay here.
Commander, I am in the holodeck with the Tokal representative, Utu. There seems to be something wrong with the holodeck. Krev was not able to elaborate. I was wondering if you could check to see if there's any system malfunctions.
Yes, I'll get back to you shortly, Ensign. My apologies.
how much longer, Ensign Zed? I really wish to see this federation of yours.
Thank you very much. And I'll Zed out. He'll walk over and says, I'm quite sorry, but we appear to be experiencing technical difficulties. I'm sure it'll be resolved very, very quickly. Perhaps would you like to see another holodeck program? There is an excellent one that myself and Lieutenant Paris partake of on a regular basis. It is called Miami Vice.
Give me a presence and command.
Okay.
Difficulty of 2.
Presence, command, difficulty of 2. Would negotiation
100%.
help? All right.
If you can talk this alien down.
All right. Hopefully we'll switch scene and we'll be on one of those Miami Vice boats.
Love that.
All right, here we go. So we want presence plus command.
Why does it have a crew from New York? Because it's one of the only accents I can do regularly.
Yeah.
All right, Brian, you've talked about how terrible my accents are. All right, so that's why. Interesting.
Oh no.
Well, here's where we're at. He looks at you, and he gets this smile on his face. It grows larger and larger and larger, and almost gets to a point where it makes you uncomfortable. Like his lips kind of pull back a little bit farther than they should. Like the corners of his mouth, where you can see all of his teeth. And what you notice for the first time is that he has very much a human, kind of like the front incisors, canines. As you get farther back, you start to see what looks like double rows of teeth, almost as though they are shark teeth. Smiles wide.
Can Zed use, I don't know, would it be like some kind of insight plus medicine to see if he can tell if these front teeth are fake? And these are
In
real?
just
Or?
a moment. For what he does is he looks at Jenkins, who's like, so I'm sorry about the blue alien. I'm going to spend 2 threat here. He grabs Jenkins by the neck, his left hand slashing out so quickly. Jet lifts him up off the ground. He's now dangling there. Jenkins has his hands over it. The alien, his large smile, he says, "You will show me where your federation is, or I will kill this man. No more games, Ensign Zed."
Zed will he'll look horrified for a moment, and he'll say, computer, initiate holodeck program ZNZ1. And it's going to load a facsimile of the New Zealand penal colony where Tom Paris was host, at the beginning of the very first Voyager mission.
Yeah.
It's in New Zealand or whatever.
Yeah.
Basically, it's going to be trapping the 3 of us on this place.
Love it. I love it.
So
what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you roll a daring security difficulty of 3. What focuses do you have?
Let's see. I have ship's tactical systems. I don't know if that would. Shipboard tactical systems. Computers. That's a holodeck.
I'll allow it.
Yeah. So, all right. So we have daring plus security.
You do have 1 momentum you can spend.
Use that momentum.
Use the momentum.
Oh yes. Let's
momentum.
use the momentum.
I love that.
So that will give me 3 die, correct?
Yep.
So daring plus
Any
security.
talents to go with that?
Oh, well, let me look. Sorry about that. Oops.
Okay.
Cancel talents. Hero, cautious engineering, jury rig. I don't know if that'll. No, probably not. That's engineering. And I have cautious engineering. So no, I don't see any that would apply.
That's all right.
All right. Yes, here we go. Come on.
That is a failure. Do you have anything that would allow you to re-roll that 0?
You
could spend a determination.
Yeah, let's see. Federation blood, Ferengi blood, Federation heart.
I love it. I allow it.
Or the profits of the many outweigh the profits of the few.
Ooh, I like that. Reroll that 0.
Because we're sticking.
I love it. Reroll that 0. Let's see what happens.
Daring. Security.
Oh no!
Was I supposed to add the focus to that second roll? No, right?
Yes, you do add the focus, but it doesn't matter. You rolled a 20. So,
gotcha.
All right. I have good news and I have bad news. Zed. Which would you like first?
Whichever one is the most dramatically
appropriate.
We watch as this penal colony theme opens up. We see a few of these guards, Federation sort of military personnel. They have these little stun batons. And they're rushing towards the scene in front of you. Utu, this blue-skinned alien with this large smile on his face, these almost double shark teeth. He looks at you. Trickery. How predictable. You watch as he takes Jenkins, throws him like a rag doll at the two guards that are running towards him. Jenkins goes ragdolling, collapses into the two guards. Here's the bad news. You when you do this particular program, this is the complication. You turn off the safety protocols. Jenkins hits these two guards like a truck and goes limp and just collapses on the ground rolling. We don't know where he's at. He
Oh
goes limp.
no.
And the shark man looks at you, his mouth kind of opening, almost similar to the way that this planet did. Looks like he wants to eat you. We were going to say something, though.
Oh no, that's fine. When he turns to me, I would say Zed would go for his phaser, but this program, there's a nullifying effect that phasers don't work on the penal program to stop escapes. So Zed's gonna look for a moment, and then there are what they showed on the Voyager episode. They had these big forested areas and these gardens and stuff like that. And Zed's gonna like this, and he's gonna take off running.
I love it. Just fucking bolt.
Out of the things. Yeah. Now his hope is to draw this guy away from Jenkins, and then and hopefully slow him down by running and leading him on a maze through these.
You
these
hear
woods.
this low, deep, like growling noise that seems to come from somewhere deep inside this being's body, and it sounds like the grinding of gears, almost as though it is this weird effect of this giant planet, right?
Right.
I think that's a good moment as Zed just runs off, and then this creature person runs after him. We're going to go over to the bridge. We're going to head over to the bridge of the Ragnar, where Lieutenant Paris has arrived. We have the captain. We have a couple of the NPC crew as well. Your ship's helm officer, Lieutenant Shear, is looking at the captain. Captain, your order, sir.
Maximum maneuvering thrusters in reverse. Science, give me our note. Who's on tactical? I guess I'm on tactical. I'm going to use the tractor beam to lock onto the planet and keep us at a distance where it can't, get its mouth on us.
I think Enna is on tactical, right?
Yeah, sorry, I was muted. I don't know why she's on tactical. She's a science officer.
Just desperation. There was no tactical officer
Yeah,
at this
but
point.
she's a tactical officer.
Well, here's what happens. We do this. We click them around. We just blink, and everything's fixed. There we go. Done.
Yeah. Sorry.
'Cause-
That's Nevik.
Yeah. Full maneuvering thrusters, because that's what we've got.
Yes, sir.
We feel the inertial dampeners of the vessel struggle to keep up with this sudden burst of speed, straight reverse away, and we watch as, for the briefest of moments, the view screen, this massive grinding gear open side maw of this planet starts to kind of shrink. But then we watch as the ship is backing up, and then it starts to slow down. And you see Lieutenant Shear, he's almost mashing the panels in front of him. Sir, we're stuck in some sort of gravitational field. Sir, we've come to a dead stop.
Yeah. Options, people.
We can use the repulsor to give us a vertical boost to try and get over the mouth, and then possibly cloak.
Does the cloaking device even still work?
Mine will.
I'm sorry, what?
What?
The Crockett is outfit with my version of the quantum cloak, and it can go through this ship. That was the project I wanted to show you.
I'm sorry, a quantum cloak? Didn't the Treaty of Algernon state that we were not going to do any research into cloaking technology?
It technically annulled when the planet just was destroyed, technically, and we already have one, and it's just an upgrade. It's not new.
Everyone at their stations turns and looks at Paris. Even
All right.
it feels like the grinding mouth is looking at Paris right now.
Moral and legal implications aside, sorry, when you say quantum, you know what? I seem to be saying this a lot today, but is it going to blow up my ship?
No.
Will it send us catapulting through time again?
Maybe.
Mr. Paris, will it send us catapulting through time again?
The math says no, but it's quantum technology, so there is always a chance.
Fine, then go do it. Whatever you got to do. Tactical, give me a lock on the planet with the tractor beam. Let's try and keep us out of arm's reach. While Mr. Paris puts his plan into effect.
Permission to ask Commander Krev whatever he's doing with the engines, sir?
Sure, if you can get more information out of him than I did, be my guest, but I can't imagine you will.
Yeah, but sir, now we're staring at something that wants to eat us, so maybe he'll be willing to talk.
I hear you, but here's the thing, no matter what he's doing, we won't be able to make him go any faster, no matter how much danger we're in.
Yes, sir.
And as the security officer chirps down to Lieutenant Commander Krev, I think that's a great moment. To pivot down to main engineering, and the Commander Krev, your comm badge chirps.
I'm muted. Krev here.
Commander,
it sounds a lot quieter than the last time.
Commander, this is Chief Petty Officer Nevik on the bridge. We're staring at something that kind of looks like it wants to eat our ship. I don't suppose you're doing anything that could help us out with getting away from it, since we seem to be, a little stuck.
In the background, you can hear the captain yell, "It's like an industrial processor, so it'll crunch the ship into its atomic parts."
Wow, you guys sure don't get us into trouble in spades. Wow. Okay, give me 2 minutes.
Petty officer.
Just as you're going out, you hear in the back go, Krev, tell Bronson to flip the switch.
Bronson.
Blink,
Bronson.
blink, blink, blink. Yes,
What's the
Lieutenant Commander?
switch?
It's a thing that does some other things. It probably won't blow us up.
Is it going to send us through time?
Maybe.
All right, flip the switch.
Aye, sir. And she moves half a foot, 6 inches to the left, reaches down underneath the panel, pops a little hidden compartment, reaches in, and you hear this almost comical ka-chunk noise. Lieutenant Paris, this is your pet project. Describe what happens, at least visually what it looks like, and then I'm going to have you roll a check here.
Yep.
Because we're going to see if some crazy shit happens.
It's going to be amazing. So in an instant, all lights in and outside their ship gone. Life support gone other than gravity. All hollow and teleport, all non-essential just flips off except engineering and the bridge. That is it. That's the only two real places that function right now. Sorry, Zed. And all that energy is funneled into the shuttle bay, into a capacitor that is funneled into the Crockett, and yeah, this is going to be amazing. Like,
So now, if you remember how I described these kind of panels that seem to fold over, how does it happen with this cloaking device? What does it look like?
it's exactly the same visually.
Visually?
Like
Okay.
visually, because it's based on the same base technology. Visually, it's the same feeling, the same everything. Like, yeah. And
Okay.
as I'm saying that, as this is happening, I censure some flight path for the thrusters and all that, and to like, sure, do as I just sent you, and hold on to your butts.
All right. One of the most important checks of your life.
It's gonna be amazing.
I need you to give me a control science, difficulty of 5.
All right. So, I'm gonna determination this, right, to get 2 off the bat.
Yep, 2 successes. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Always expect the unexpected.
Love it, love it, love it, love it. I'm so nervous. Ooh.
The focus is, of course, quantum mechanics, and technical expertise and bold science come into play.
Okay.
And I have to give you 3 threat because we don't have momentum, but that's okay. I get to re-roll with my bold.
How much threat are you giving me?
3, because we don't have momentum.
Spending all of that threat to increase your complication range to 17 to 20.
All right. Control. Science.
Zed, you were running through a forest, and now you're running across a metallic field. You are on the one corner of the holodeck, and the creature is on the other corner of the holodeck, and you can hear him, but it's completely holy fucking shit.
Whoa!
Oh, so I get to re-roll. So I'm gonna re-roll that 0 because it's technically a complication.
Yeah, that's crazy. That was great. Good roll. That was a good roll. That was an amazing roll. Oh my god.
1 and yes, focus. So that's 7, 8, 9 successes.
Oh my god. You get 5 momentum. So here's where we're at. We watch everything that you described, Lieutenant Paris, takes place. The ship vanishes. So we kind of zoom to an outward view of it. We see this giant planet. Ship vanishes. From inside, on the bridge, you watch as the ship starts to pull away from the planet. But as the ship starts to pull away from the planet, there is an unintended happening. It's not a complication per se. But you had mentioned, Lieutenant Paris, and the Game Master was listening, that it could send you through time. Is that correct? It could? There's a chance it is quantum technology, of course. We watch as the planet, as you back away from it, seems to start to reverse itself. If it had a slow sort of spin from left to right, it slowly starts to spin from right to left. The mouth closes, the mountains reappear, and as you back away, that spinning in the opposite direction starts to go quicker and quicker and quicker and quicker and quicker, 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 and you watch as this planet goes from this massive, the size of Earth kind of planet, it actually starts to shrink and 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 shrink. I'm curious, Lieutenant Paris, how long do you continue the ship backing up before you come to a stop, or do you keep going and just continue to watch this planet shrink?
So, as I'm doing the mental process of noticing what's going on, I just yell out, "Stop everything!" and I uncloak.
So you stop.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to have a very important roll for you to make. Not necessarily rules as written. I need you to roll me a D100. I don't need you to tell me high or low. Just roll me a D100.
High.
I don't need high or low. roll a d100. 31. The planet is now 31% of its previous size. So it's roughly the size, if I'm remembering correctly, roughly the size of the moon now. All right? It's looks to be almost a miniature representation of the planet you saw before, but obviously significantly smaller. Okay? There's no open maw. It's slowly spinning. Simultaneously, as you say stop, and I assume all the power comes back on because you're no longer holding it for the content code. So all the power comes back on. The holodeck program starts up again. The power returns to medical. The power returns to all the different stations. Life support comes back on, weapons, etc. Ensign Zed, you're running through a forest. You look back over your shoulder. You look back. You now see what appears to be a child version of that person, this person that was chasing you. And he looks down at his hands, and he looks up, and his little kind of squeaky voice goes, "How did I get here? What's going on?" Simultaneously, in medical, we see a childlike version, roughly, I would say, a third the age of what she was before. Her clothing has shrunk down with her as well. She has a little toy rifle. You can tell it's a toy. It's got a little orange tip on it. And she's looking around, goes, she's not moving because she's unconscious. And she's just lying there, but she's now a child version of what she was before. I'd like to pick back up on the bridge. Take it away.
Status, Mr. Paris.
Well, we're okay. The ship, the planet shrunk. Yeah, we didn't go back in time. They went back in time. If that's
Give me a
possible.
Yeah, I'm going to need more than that, science officer.
Insight science. Sensor use. Sorry, not sorry. I love it. That was a damn good success, Lieutenant Paris. I got to reward you a little bit here. That was a damn good success, my dude.
Is there a difficulty, or it's just
difficulty? Honestly, I just want you to roll. And I want to see what you get. And it's going to determine how much information. You're not going to get any momentum off this roll. I just want to determine how much information you're going to pick up. Because I've got like 4 things in my head that I can share with you. But so the more successes you get, the more information you're going to gather.
Would
a little bit. Yeah.
Astrophysics work? Quantum mechanics work?
All of those things.
Okay.
So all right. What? So here's what you're going to pick up. You're going to get one little piece of information. You are the science officer. You can ask for another one. Know your role. You realize that as you activated this quantum cloak, it created a kind of feedback loop that the quantum particles, whatever you want to call them, fed back along this sort of gravitational field, which was likely some kind of technology that was holding onto the ship and starting to try to drag it in. It traveled along that back to it and created this sort of bubble that spun the planet backwards in time. So it was, and you're not exactly sure how the science works. You'd have to research a little bit, but that is your working theory. You do have your one question that you can ask. What question would you like to ask?
I don't got anything. It's fine. That's.
I'm gonna ask one for you.
All right.
I'm gonna ask one for you.
All right.
What you also realize, along with this information, is that this planet, if it is a planet, seems to be a mixture of bio, so living material and matter, and it's basically a giant android planet, is what you're picking up. So it's both
which we knew from the last episode. Yep. Yeah.
However, you also realize that this planet grows as it consumes, right? Mm-hmm. Which you could probably infer. But I wanted to make sure that was logical and it was obviously obvious to you. So please do with that information as you see fit.
So yeah, just relaying the information to the captain that the gravitational pull from the ship, the maw probably intermingled with the chronotons and tachyons, and they went back in time instead of us. That's the good part. The bad part is it's still a giant ship that wants to eat everything, full of people controlled by the ship.
Tactical, if we put our entire complement of photon torpedoes in orbit around that planet and detonated them simultaneously, it's small enough now that that should crack it, right?
Oh, yeah. You want me to do that, sir?
I mean, they did try to eat us.
They did.
Fire at will.
Do it.
As the security officer is doing that, as you're getting ready to do that, we watch as this sort of young child in this penal colony field is crying. He seems confused and lost. The girl is starting to actually awaken, and she's very groggy, and she's asking for her mother. Where is Mama? Sort of thing.
She's gonna wake up tied up, just for the record.
And she's very confused and scared, being tied up. She doesn't understand. And then we're gonna have. I'm not even gonna make you make a fucking roll for this security officer because you got plenty of time, and the planet seems confused. And we're gonna watch as you're firing your entire complement.
Yeah. What we have on hand at the moment, so that's like 32.
So like the quantum torpedoes, like photon torpedoes.
We only have photon
mines,
torpedoes, but we do have 32 high yields.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So we watch as these. It's like that.
Yeah, I want to caveat that we put them in orbit so that they are essentially there, and then I hail them.
Okay. They're all in orbit, and they create this kind of. Imagine it's not like a ring of Saturn. They're positioned like a swarm of drones, just like in space around the planet, creating this kind of like, field, like almost like a minefield around the planet, right? Like that's like they're all in different positions. And you go to hail the planet.
Yes, USS Ragnar to unidentified planet / consume ship. I recommend you answer this hail.
You hear some garbled static. The garbled static sounds like a bunch of children screaming and playing in like a nursery school. That's all you hear. It's just that they're like screaming and like having fun and like throwing things. It's just that's all you hear coming from this planet.
Unidentified ship, you have 5 minutes to vacate all personnel from your or I will wait, let me try this again. Unidentified ship, you have 5 minutes to vacate all personnel from your premises, at which time I will detonate the explosives I have in orbit around your hull. I don't see any way that you survive that explosion, so I recommend you make your way to whatever you have as far as escape pods, ships, any of that kind of stuff. And your 5 minutes starts now.
So while
go ahead, please.
Sorry.
Yeah.
While he's doing that, like Paris is finally clicking on that. If the planet went in reverse, the people on it also went in reverse. So he does a quick scan to see like if there are any like life signs that would be considered adults.
None.
Captain, there are no adults on that ship.
I hope those kids make it to the escape pods then.
And just Paris is like, oh no, what do I do? Conflict. I already fucked up once today. I can't.
Paris, how many life signs are you reading?
Captain, GM, how many life signs?
You remember how many there were last time?
Oh yeah, 500. 498, sir, still.
Oh, it's not 666,666,600. Just 498?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Captain, though, very important role. Presence command, difficulty of 3.
yeah, I'm gonna spend. You know what? I'm gonna spend my determination. I'm gonna know when to hold them, know when to fold them.
Okay.
And then all 5 of these momentum to roll 6 dice.
That's fantastic.
Or 5 dice. 4 dice because I've already got 1, and I'll take the 2 successes to start with.
Love it.
And persuasion as a focus.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit!
You got it.
Wait. Like that's 4. I get 4 successes there.
Oh, you got it. So you get 1 momentum back. Fantastic.
I can also re-roll one of those d20s.
Go ahead and re-roll it. And as you re-roll that, I'm going to give you the description here. So you watch as the planet, which is doing that slow spin back from left to right.
Hey!
We watch as it's spinning and it stops. And if you recall, there was that kind of central lit up city that then opened to the maw. It's much smaller now. We watch as that maw seems to start to open back up. And imagine it's one of those like metal, like kind of look like teeth, and it spirals open. We watch as it starts to spiral open, but it does not open quite as wide as it did before. And you watch as this stream of tiny little, what look like little miniature, like pods. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So one after another. Lieutenant Paris, you are still maintaining your scan on the planet, and you're reading each of these pods has a number of children, these young life forms on it. You watch as the planet starts to close back up, and it stops rotating and just hovers there. There is a voice that it crackles for a moment. The comms are still open. This voice crackles. It is deep rumbling and kind of grinding, as though it is mechanical. It is some sort of machine, but you can also hear what sounds like the dripping of like fluids, like sort of like inside. It sounds like mechanical, but also biological. Look after my children. They were simply an extension of me. They know not what I do to survive. Ferry them to safety, and do what you must. The planet, which has this sort of tropical, I think I described, there was no water. You watch as the planet's surface seems to, almost as though someone takes a paintbrush, starts to turn completely white, as though it's gone straight to winter. And it seems like it's like almost freezing in place, just awaiting its fate. The timer's ticking down.
Mr. Paris, confirm that all the children have been evacuated.
Confirmed, sir.
Tactical, detonate those torpedoes.
Yes, sir.
We watch as the torpedoes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just a multitude
32.
of them
32.
fly towards this planet. It's not all at once, but you see a detonation, and all 32 of these torpedoes detonate. There is a blinding flash of white light that just completely illuminates. You even have to like cover your eyes for a moment on the view screen as all of these go off. And we watch as the lights and your eyes adjust to it, come back, and all you see is just masses of floating chunks of ice. Just a few in space. The planet, whatever it was, completely gone.
Tactical, retrieve those escape pods. Set aside some space on the ship for the children. Set course. Helm, as soon as we get engines back, set course for Starbase. It was 151?
123.
123. I will be in my ready room. Mr. Paris, you the bridge.
Hi, Captain.
If I may, as the captain gets almost to the door of his ready room, you get a chirp on your comm badge. Crev to captain.
Tracer here.
Yeah, Cap. The warp drive's all good to go. You can come down here and check it out if you want to. Whatever you need for fighting off this terrible, evil planet that's trying to eat us. Right? That was a thing. I got it fixed for you super fast.
I appreciate that. We'll take full advantage, but I won't be down for a bit. But I'll come check it out eventually. Trace out.
Okay.
I'd like to follow Treso over to his ready room. Okay, so you walk into the ready room, and what do you do in this moment?
He sits down at his console, at his little computer terminal, and immediately starts penning the report. Like, hey, Starfleet Command, this is a thing that I did today. This may have been a sentient creature that I blew up. It was eating planets, so that's probably bad. But also, it was sentient, and I definitely didn't talk to it. Mostly because this was our one opportunity, because otherwise it was too big for anything to work. So you let me know how that you feel about that, and I'll await that here. But in the meantime, we're on our way to Starbase 123. You know, just in case. Trace out.
Like that. And Treso, we sort of see you sitting there, maybe looking. I don't think a little bit. You look very contemplative. I assume very much lost in your own head. Lost in your own head. This went a little quicker than I was anticipating, so I'd like to open. We see there's this, 500 children are now down in both of the bays, your shuttle bays. Oh, they're just down there. They're all crying and screaming and playing and having fun. They all just look like young blue alien children, right? They look like they've lost their parents. They're confused. They keep asking for mommy, for mother. Where's mother? Sort of thing. They keep asking for mother. And we see different crew members trying to take care of them, corral them, keep them from, breaking things, as it were. But I want to open the scenes to all of you to have just some one-on-one conversations with each other, because at this point we have a little bit of time. So any projects you're working on, conversations you want to have, please take it away.
Zed will be open saying, Captain, I think this is an excellent opportunity. We are, in a sense, giving these children a clean slate, whereas before they were serving a malicious planet-eating entity. Now we can show them, we can teach them the values of the Federation, or at least let them choose for themselves a future, a better future.
I appreciate the positive outlook, Ensign. However, looked at from another angle, I murdered these children's mother and then took them away to be re-educated.
Well, I suppose one could look at it that way.
By the four deities, I'll tell you, that does not sit well with me.
Zed doesn't say anything. He just kind of fidgets a little and looks around at anyone else if they want to add anything.
How much time are we talking here?
We've probably got a couple weeks.
So I want these scenes to take place over the course of roughly a month of you guys traveling back to Starbase 123. I have also figured out what our last episode. I had another idea of what it was going to be, but I've also figured out what our last episode is going to be. I'm not going to tell you until the end of the episode, but I figured out what our last episode is going to be for this season. Yeah, I figured out what it's going to be. It's going to be an interesting one. I think it's going to be a nice little bookend to this season. But yeah, these are going to take place over the next couple of weeks. So just any scenes you have, let me know where you'd like to have them take place. I'll make sure I pivot the camera over to that. Take it away.
Okay. Well, Krev is going to call a meeting of the senior staff within like hours of the incident
Mhm.
in the engine room.
Perfect. I can go ahead and drag everyone over to the senior staff conference room. And
Engine room.
oh, the
Engine
engine.
room.
Oh, the engine room. All right, all right. Let me drag everyone over there. Get you over to the engine room. Good dongle. All right, we got everyone there. And yeah, take it away, gentlemen and ladies.
When you all get to the engine room, there's there's kind of a force screen in front of the main warp core. It's just kind of a black. It's just a black screen, but it's not like a tarp or anything. It's energy. So I guess I just wanted to do a thing to commemorate our time that we spent with Jormungandr, and I may have gotten a little carried away, but let me know what you guys think. And he turns around and hits a button, and the force screen goes down. And you know how the constrictor coils are usually blue when they pulse?
Mhm.
They're purple now, and there's a almost like holographically. There's obviously like a dragon like inside wrapped around the coils. So I just wanted Ragnar to be a little bit more herself.
It is quite impressive looking.
Yes.
I do wonder if we will pass next inspection, though.
Well,
no-
the crystal I used has actually a quantum matrix that ends up boosting efficiency of the coils by 35%. So if they don't like it,
Well, that is impressive too. Well done, Commander Krev.
Always impressed, Commander. Always impressed.
sorry the timing wasn't as good as it could have been.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Any other scenes that everyone would like to have?
So while we're looking at Jormungandr and everything, does the captain seem kind of down?
Oh yeah, the captain is absolutely not
Right.
here.
So,
Captain,
so
let's imagine that I think you had said, Karev, you wanted this to happen relatively soon after.
Yeah,
after
within like an hour or two.
Okay, cool. Captain, you got a very quick response from Starfleet Command, based on your report that you sent in. Like somebody skimmed it and said that you were to report to. You're to report to the admiral like right away as soon as you return. And
Yeah,
he's
saw
got
that
some
coming.
questions for you. Yeah. So you're feeling maybe a little down right now. I like that, but please continue, Ensign Zed.
Zed will kind of step into stride by the captain, as we're walking out of engineering or wherever. And might I have a moment to speak to you, Captain?
Certainly. Mr. Zed, what can I do for you?
Earlier, you mentioned your regret or your complicated feelings in destroying what you consider to be the mother of these children. There is unfortunately nothing that can be done to take that back. However, perhaps there is something that you could do. This might be an opportunity for you to, in some small way, take their mother's place. I'm certain that on the month's trip back, your influence upon these children might be quite beneficial. I plan to volunteer some of my time to assisting in their education and their extracurricular activities, as well as introducing them into Federation culture. Perhaps you might be interested in doing this too.
While I appreciate your enthusiasm, Mr. Zed, I suspect that I may have. I think I might be better. My time might be better served commanding the vessel. I also do not want to find myself too emotionally involved further than I already have been, because I don't want to complicate their status in the Federation any further than I already have.
I understand, Captain. I I was simply making a suggestion that would hopefully help you resolve whatever you are. And then he kind of trails off. He doesn't finish it. He says, understood, Captain.
Tracer reaches out and puts his hand on Zed's shoulder and says, I appreciate your looking out for me. This is just one of those times I think I'm going to have to work this out for myself.
I understand. However, if you ever need time to unwind, you're welcome to join me in my quarters with some of the other crewmen, where we should be playing a Ferengi board game called Profits and Losses, somewhat similar to the Earth Shoots and Ladders. Perhaps you will find that enjoyable if you wish.
You know what? Let me know when the next time you guys play is, and I'll try to I'll try to bump something out of my schedule.
I certainly will, Captain. Thank you. And then
You know what,
Zed will
Captain?
excuse himself.
As Zed starts to walk away, you know what, Captain? I think we can nominate Zed to be our unofficial morale officer.
I think he's wearing enough hats as it is.
I think he wants that hat, even if you don't want to give it to him.
Mm-hmm.
Any other scenes prior to the end here?
Yep. So after a couple of days of not getting the call to the captain's office, Paris will request a little meeting with the captain.
Captain's a popular guy.
I mean, kind of the captain.
He is the captain.
Kind of the captain.
He is kind of the captain. All right, so we'll pivot back over to his ready room. Let me get that ready room scene set up for you guys. And you guys can go ahead and take it away as I get you set up.
Paris presses on the door chime.
Come in.
Paris walks in with a data pad in hand, very somber face. Like we've been sharing probably for the past few days. Captain?
Mr. Paris, what can I do for you?
Here's the full report of the cloaking device, the full schematics and time and effort used. The system has been fully taken out of working operation and put into storage. And I await your decision.
I included it in my report to Starfleet. I did not mention the officer involved. However, I suspect there will be a bigger fish to fry, as it were, once we reach Starbase 123. So I think you're going to benefit by association.
Sorry to hear.
No. I stand by my decision. However, we'll see if Starfleet agrees.
Well, then if there's nothing else, I'll go back to
no, leave those schematics here. A little bit of light reading before I go to sleep.
Just walks out. Just like, yeah, nope, I don't want to be here anymore. I hate this already. I'm gonna lose my captain. No.
And I'm going to open it to the crew one more time. Any other scenes that anyone would like to have prior to my final scene?
I'm going to pull Ajay into my ready room as we approach.
So maybe you're like the day of, you're about to get to Starbase 123.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay, go ahead.
So, Shahira, I have it on good authority that there may be a personnel change. I have already logged a recommendation for you to take command of the Ragnar, if that should be a thing. I hope
Sir,
you'll forgive my presumption.
where do you expect to be going?
Well, I made my report to Starfleet Command after the incident with the Planet Eater planet, and I was asked to report to the Admiral, which is never a good sign, especially not for a captain in the. So part of our stop over here at Starbase at the Starbase will involve likely some sort of judgment of my actions. So we'll see. It may be better than I think, but I'm preparing for the worst.
I see. I
I don't want to. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know you've got the bridge at the moment, or at least you will once you're back out there. I do want to mention that if you are called on to testify, I expect you to testify completely honestly. This is not an attempt to sway you in any way. I just feel like the crew will have a better time with a smaller break in. Should it come to that, mind you, but it'll be better for the crew if there's not as large a break in chain of command. So I also recommend you pick a first officer, just in case.
Captain, you've never given me reason to believe that you would try to persuade me to do any less than my duty. I wouldn't have expected you to ask me to alter my testimony at all. I appreciate the assurance, but
Yeah, that's it. That's all I had.
I should apologize before I head back out. I've been avoiding you on the trip back to Starbase 123, and I regret that. You made a choice. It's a choice I might well have made too in your place.
Well, if you'll forgive me, I hope it doesn't come to that.
You'll forgive me for agreeing, but I think the same hesitations you're feeling are the reason I've been thinking a lot.
Well, I respect that.
And I want you to know that I still respect you greatly, and I hope that you will be returning to captain the ship, regardless of what happens when we reach the starbase.
Well, she's a good little ship, and I hate to see her in anybody else's hands, but she has to go to someone. I'm glad. I hope it'll be you.
I hope it'll be you, Captain.
And as that scene comes to a close, we cut to an outward view of the Ragnar pulling into the Starbase 123. I'm going to bring us back to actually the main page here with this here. And we're going to do a little bit of theater of the mind. We watch as the Ragnar pulls into Starbase 123. We see the ship dock. We see the docking clamps go into place, and we see several security personnel that are being led by this very, very kind of sure of himself, maybe even full of himself, a person. And he looks a little bit like this. Put him on the screen there for you, so everybody at home can see as well. This is Admiral Anton, very much a no-nonsense, matter-of-fact kind of guy. We watch as these two security personnel with him, they get on board the ship, they head up to the captain's ready room, where the captain is taken into custody. He is put in handcuffs, those are future handcuffs, and he is led off the ship, and the ship is left under the command, for the time being, of Commander Ajay. And that is where we will end today's episode of Star Trek Valhalla Season 2. And our next episode will be a potential court-martial episode of Captain Traso. That's going to be our bookend episode. And I'm envisioning it in my mind right now as kind of being a retelling of everything that's taken place over the last 2 seasons. Both to hopefully help, prove his innocence and that he acted as any good captain should. However, Starfleet Command seems to think that they had a chance to meet an unknown alien species, and their current position is that instead of trying to communicate and figure out what it was about and perhaps use diplomacy, the captain went straight to blowing it the fuck up. And they don't look kindly upon that. So it is possible that the captain will not only be thrown in jail for a long time, but she'll lose his title. He'll be completely kicked out of Starfleet. This is going to be a very intense episode, and we'll have a guest star next episode. We'll have a guest star, my good friend Aaron, who you have probably all seen on the channel from time to time. He will be playing a Starfleet JAG officer. Don't know who that JAG officer is going to be this time, but having been in the same seat that Captain Traso was about to be in as a character that made some questionable decisions, Captain Traso, I wish you all the best. I truly wish you all the best, because Aaron, he's no nonsense type of guy, and good luck. Good luck.
Yeah, I
Captain.
appreciate
That's all I
that.
have to say. But that is where we'll end today's episode. I just want to say thank you so much to all of you. It was absolutely fantastic. And as I always say at the end of every episode, any final thoughts, questions, comments, or concerns before we wrap up today's session?
No, that was quite a session cliffhanger there.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. I think it'll be good. This will be good. This will be
Mhm.
good. We'll see what happens. But in the meantime, as I always say at the end of every session as well, thank you so much to the players for playing. I had an absolute delight. It's good to be back with all of you. I'm extremely excited for the next episode. I'm going to have to find a good courtroom scene so I can have that set up for us. And thank you so much to the viewers for viewing. We got a couple of new subs here today. I want to say thank you to those that did subscribe. And happy gaming, everybody. Have a great one. We'll see you next week.
Yeah.